Hi Nero, hi Orshi. The Keys of Light Center is about to born now, and that's why I'd like to ask you some questions about your center.
Hello, Bella. Thank you so much for this little opportunity, and I'm looking forward to the questions.
So, what experiences in your life inspired you to start the center, Keys of Light Center?
Well, if I talk about my life, I can see a big chasm between the first 40 years of my life and then the rest. Yeah, I'm already 48, by the way. So in the first part of my life, I was a child who was really excommunicated from the mainstream school circles. And also, as a result of that, because of my myopia, which was developing already at the age of 8, I was really isolated, and I resorted to reading lots of books, and I was really interested and I would say very curious about the invisible world, yeah, not just about the visible world, because what surrounded me was not particularly that pleasant, yeah. So I started to actually, as a very young child, read lots of kind of Russian realist literature, and also study different languages, and just in general, I was very keen on philosophy. And then I was aspiring, so-called mundane, success. I was a very successful professional. Already when I finished university, I had a full-time, enterprise. And then at the age of 40, in my personal life, there was a big crisis. And then it was so painful to realize that all this knowledge that I have accumulated, hasn't really led to an inner peace and to a reconciliation and a balance or a real health, in my life. So basically, I turned inwards, again, and I started to work as a volunteer in many different cultures, and also started to accumulate this time the inner experiences, which was really leading me much more to where I am now.
I understand. You went through many things. So you explore the initiatory paths of different world religions. This is very interesting to me. Can you talk a bit about what drew you to this and what your research involves?
So apart from studying comparative history of religion, from a very young age, when I was in my 30s, I started to do lots of volunteering, and I traveled to several continents and countries of the world. And I worked together with lots of different communities, individuals, monks, lay people, very, very successful people, and less successful from a worldly point of view, but really genuinely happy people as well. And then all this was like really for me a very tangible, a very personal experience of researching in my research of the inner path of the different religions. In the past 5 years, I started to also study the Hungarian Pauline, the Palos monks' history and their path, under the sacred hills of Hungary, and that led me to further research of the Holy Grail, to Egypt, to South America. I was working in India before, so all this has helped me to get like a real, genuine, I would say, encounter, with all these cultures, and more the mystical, the less hierarchical, not church-based, however, the very deep, profound inner path.
You often speak about alchemical processes and transformation as well in your healing work. So, how do you understand these ideas in practice, or how do you use them?
So when I talk about alchemy, I always refer to the inner alchemy, which has some similarity to the alchemical process of making, gold out of less precious metal, because basically we have a physical vehicle. And then all our experiences, our characteristic traits, the workings of our ego, all the experiences of all lifetimes that has left an imprint, on our consciousness or on our soul, if I use a more Christian word for it, basically need to be put into that alchemical furnace, and then the fire, the energy of the fire, which is a very important element of one of the processes of the three main stages of the alchemical process. Yeah, through this fire, we actually transmute these experiences. We transmute the pain. We transmute all the experiences accumulated and start becoming gold. That means becoming light ourselves. Yeah. So I would say, to me, alchemy means liberating your light. Yeah. That inner light, that light nature, and also the light body. Yeah. So basically, through the alchemical process, we balance our energy centers. Yeah. And we start putting our unique abilities into the service of all living beings. Yeah. So that's what I mean by alchemy.
Yeah, really mesmerizing.
Thank you.
For you, how does the combination of heart-centered compassion and wisdom show up in daily life and in your work as well?
That's a very important point that you have brought up. So I have actually found, that in the present age and in this lots of accumulated inspirational, courses, abundance of schools that are available of Eastern and Western path, in the New Age or in the Age of Aquarius, some of the approaches are very mind-centered or knowledge-centered, or even like influential, magic-centered. However, I really firmly believe that a real wisdom is a wisdom that is not only helping yourself, but also helping others and all living beings, human beings, animals, plants, minerals, all the planet, which is also like a living being like ourselves. So that's why I find that the other extreme, which is more like a purely heart-centered, a very innocent existence. However, with a lack of sometimes self-love, because, for example, in Hungary, in my country, there are lots of generations grew up in dictatorships, for almost 500 years, and we didn't learn to draw boundaries, healthy boundaries. So the balance of the self-love and the love, of all living beings, combined with a genuine knowledge of the tools, of the toolkit, and different approaches of this inner path, help us to create a kind of real balanced and whole rounded existence. And that's why the keys of light would serve both knowledge and compassion.
Yes, and the last question is coming up. How did you receive your spiritual name, Mira, and what does it mean to you personally?
So the spiritual name Mira actually arrived as a result of a walking meditation, which I did at age 40, when there was this big turning point of my life. And then I was just walking at the river Ung, in Transcarpathia, in the southern part of present Ukraine. And then I heard this inner voice that your real, genuine name of your feminine is Mira. And I was wondering why this name cropped up in that meditation. And then what happens is that I look up the meaning of the word, and then I find that Mira, mir in Slavic languages means peace, and basically all my life has been the pursuit of the inner peace and the inner balance that now I can transmit to people, and with that serve the peace between different world religions and different nations. And then Mira also means in Sanskrit sea, and also the boundary. And we have talked about the healthy boundary setting and building the bridges as well, kind of transcending boundaries, so to say. And finally, also Mira means in the Spanish mirar, for example, to see. And of course, all my life I have been on the path of ameliorating, improving my physical vision and also my clairvoyance. So that also very much relates to my name. And finally, Mira also means the myrrh bearer, and the myrrh is very precious material used by lots of priests and priestesses over history. And I'm really connected now to this research of the Holy Grail and the lineage of the dragon/serpent path priests and priestesses. So also the myrrh as a very important element of any ceremony and transcending portals is included in the name. So now I understand why I have received this name, and I'm very grateful for it if people also use that. But I also listen to, of course, my first official name, which is Orsi.
Very meaningful. Thank you, Mira. Thank you, Orsi. We'll be back with more, because the Keys of Light Center is developing, evolving all the time. So it's gonna be a wonderful things. So please watch out for more episodes or interviews and the programs of Mira.
Thank you so much, Bea, and thank you also so much for putting together this very, very sensitive set of questions. Yeah.
Thank you.